In the heartbeat of Monza, where engines scream and dreams collide, the impossible happened. Max Verstappen, Red Bull's relentless champion, stepped onto Ferrari's hallowed podium in 2025 and the Tifosi didn't boo. They chanted his name. Was this the moment that sparked a seismic shift in Formula One's future? The 2025 Formula One season, celebrating 75 years of the sport, was a 24-race epic that pulsed with drama, speed, and speculation. McLaren dominated early, with Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri racking up 5 consecutive wins from Austria to the Netherlands, their MCL 39 a masterpiece of aerodynamics and power. Ferrari, buoyed by the arrival of 7-time champion Lewis Hamilton, aimed to end a 17-year title drought. Red Bull, after a turbulent winter of internal strife and power unit doubts, fought to keep their star, Max Verstappen, who sat third in the championship with 230 points after Monza, trailing Norris and Piastri. Monza, the Italian Grand Prix on September 7, 2025, was the turning point. McLaren arrived as favorites, their car perfectly tuned for the Temple of Speed's long straights. Ferrari leaned on home crowd energy, with Charles Leclerc dreaming of a repeat of his 2024 heroics. But Verstappen stole the show. His pole lap of 1 minute 18 seconds and 792 milliseconds shattered records, and on race day, he outmaneuvered Norris in a lap 1 duel, briefly ceding the lead before reclaiming it by lap 4. By the checkered flag, he was 19.07 seconds ahead, clocking the fastest race in F1 history at an average speed of 257.18 km per hour. This was Verstappen's third win of 2025, his 45th career pole, and Red Bull's first under new technical director Lauren McGee, who brought stability after a rocky offseason. The victory wasn't just about numbers, it was a statement. Verstappen, who'd gone winless since Miami in May, rediscovered his fire. "This is why we race," he said over team radio, his voice cracking with pride. Red Bull's RB1, refined under McKee's leadership, danced through Monza's Lesmo curves and powered down the Rettifilo straight, silencing doubters. But the real story was the Tifosi's reaction. For years, they'd whistled at Verstappen, the man who crushed Ferrari's hopes. Now, they sang his name, a love song that echoed beyond the podium. Ferrari's 2025 season was a tale of ambition and struggle. Signing Lewis Hamilton was a masterstroke, Maranello's biggest coup since Michael Schumacher. At 40, Hamilton arrived with hunger, saying, "The Tifosi's passion is unmatched. It's why I'm here," but his transition was rocky. A sprint win in China was his only highlight, with no Grand Prix podiums by Monza. A 5-place grid penalty for a yellow flag violation in Zandvoort dropped him to 10th on the grid, and he clawed back to 6th, 12.36 for seconds behind Leclerc's third-place finish. Leclerc, Ferrari's golden son, thrived in the SF25, leveraging his fluency and the team's culture and trackside instincts. In 2024, he'd outscored every driver from Monza onward, and 2025 saw him hold a 30-point edge over Hamilton. Fred Vasseur, Ferrari's team principal, remained optimistic, citing 2024's late surge as proof they could take the final step. But Ferrari's 180 constructor points lagged McLaren's 337, and the SF25 struggled with inconsistent balance, particularly in high-speed corners. Verstappen's contract binds him to Red Bull through 2028. But 2026 is the pivot point. Rumors of a performance clause suggest he could exit if Red Bull falls out of contention, though his third-place standing at the summer break muted that talk. Jos Verstappen admitted to exploratory talks with rivals, but Max remains pragmatic. "I respect Ferrari's history, but I don't move for the badge. I move to win." Monza showed Red Bull's strength. The RB21's upgrades improved front-wing flexibility, and a refined floor gave Verstappen the edge to dominate. McKee's leadership stabilized the team rocked by 2024's off-track drama, including Christian Horner's controversies and Adrian Newey's departure to Aston Martin. Verstappen praised the new rhythm in the garage, a nod to McKee's data-driven approach, which saw Red Bull outpace McLaren's upgrades by 0.3 seconds in qualifying. But 2026 is the shadow over every decision. If Red Bull's power unit falters or their aero lags, the exit clause could activate. Ferrari, meanwhile, must prove their 2026 package can challenge McLaren and Mercedes. Verstappen's camp will watch the first season of new rules closely, evaluating pace, reliability, and development curves. "I'll reassess after we see the real picture," he said. His focus laser sharp on results. The earliest window for Verstappen to join Ferrari is 2027. Hamilton's contract guarantees 2026, with an option to extend into 2027 or beyond. If he stays in sync with Leclerc, Ferrari's seats are occupied. If Hamilton struggles or retires, perhaps frustrated by the SF25's quirks, or the new regs, a seat opens. Paddock insiders are clear: if Verstappen hits the market, Ferrari will act, not to sideline Leclerc, who's locked in long-term, but to pair to generational talents in a bid to end their title drought. Verstappen's own future adds another layer. At 27, he's already musing about life beyond F1, endurance racing, like the 24 Hours of Le Mans. Calls to him and his sim racing projects are a growing passion. The 24-race calendar, bloated with triple headers, tests his patience. And off-track noise sponsor demands, media scrutiny chips away at the joy. "I don't need to race forever," he said, hinting at a career that might not reach 2028. If the balance tips, he could walk away, leaving Ferrari's dreams and Red Bull's plans in limbo. The 2025 season was a pressure cooker. McLaren's dominance then wins. 611 constructor points set the pace. Ferrari's 180 points reflected flashes of brilliance, but too many compromises. Red Bull, with 255 points, leaned on Verstappen's brilliance to stay relevant. Every race was a chapter in a saga of ambition, heartbreak, and hope. The 2026 regulations are Formula One's next earthquake. Engines will split power 50-50 between electric and combustion. Cars will shed 30 kilograms with active aero to balance drag and downforce. Red Bull's RBPT power unit, their first in-house effort, faces scrutiny after Honda's exit. Ferrari's in-house unit, honed since 2014, aims for efficiency gains. McLaren, paired with Mercedes power, benefits from their hybrid expertise. Mercedes and Aston Martin are wildcards. Verstappen's decision hinges on these technical bets. A misstep by Red Bull, say, a 20 horsepower deficit or poor energy recovery could push him toward Ferrari, whose simulations project a 1,050 horsepower output. But Ferrari must solve their aero woes. 2025's SF25 lost 0.2 seconds in high-speed corners due to drag. The team that nails the balanced power weight aero will hold the keys to 2026 and Verstappen's future. Mercedes, revitalized under James Allison's technical leadership, lurks in the shadows. Their 2025 season showed promise with a win in Silverstone. Toto Wolff, ever the strategist, has kept lines open with Verstappen's camp, offering a proven power unit and a fresh start. Aston Martin, bolstered by Newey's arrival in Honda's engines, is a dark horse. Their Armor 5 struggled, but Newey's 2026 designs could shift the tide. Both teams watch Verstappen, ready to pounce if Red Bull falters. Jos Verstappen's role can't be overstated. A former F1 driver, he's Max's fiercest advocate, openly criticizing Red Bull's 2024 chaos and confirming rival talks. "We want the best chance to win," he said, echoing Max's pragmatism. Manager Raymond Vermeulen handles the logistics, keeping negotiations discreet. The Tifosi's love at Monza reached them, with Jos noting, "It's special to hear that, even when you beat them," but their focus remains on data, lap times, power curves, and championship odds. Monza 2025 wasn't just a race, it was a glimpse into Formula One soul. The Tifosi song for Max Verstappen, the roar of the RB21, the weight of Hamilton's quest, and Leclerc's burning ambition wove a tapestry of passion and precision. As 2026 looms, the question isn't just where Verstappen will drive, it's whether Ferrari can craft a car worthy of his genius, or if Red Bull will keep their king with victories that echo Monza's magic. The future is unwritten, but one thing is clear: in Formula One, every choice is a heartbeat, every race a dream. Subscribe now to stay in the driver's seat. Follow our channel for the latest F1 insights, rumors, and drama as the 2026 season unfolds.